So in terms of governance system that we have now in place, इसमें मुझे थोड़ा बताएं कि उमर असगर खान फाउंडेशन इसके ऊपर क्या exactly काम कर रही है, and what do you think in your opinion कि how the system overall can improve?
So I think one of the first things is to first of all understand governance, and I find that a lot of people have such misconceptions about what governance is. कि अच्छा जी फलां की गवर्नमेंट बड़ी करप्ट है, फलां का ये है, फलां का ये है, but actually governance is such a large entity, and we have found in our work that you can always find allies, people who are looking for reform, people who are trying to improve things. एंड हमारा फिर काम ये है, जैसे हम जो पब्लिक बजट्स पे काम करते हैं, वी वर्क ऑन लुकिंग एट हाउ दोज बजट्स, बिकॉज जो गवर्नमेंट का पूरा सिस्टम है इसमें पॉलिसीज़ आर इम्पोर्टेंट, लॉज आर इम्पोर्टेंट, बट जो पॉलिसीज़ और लॉज की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है उसके लिए यू नीड रिसोर्सेज, एंड रिसोर्सेज कम फ्रॉम बजट्स. So if you're talking about, our country needs more hospitals, it will come from budgets. You need a policy for better healthcare, and then you need the resources put there to say कि hospitals होने चाहिए. Or you say कि we need better drinking water, more clean drinking water, we need more security, we need to get rid of extremism in our... a lot of that has to then do with budgets. तो हमारा काम ये है कि हम गवर्नमेंट बजट्स को एनालाइज करते हैं कि क्या प्रायोरिटीज़ है, गवर्नमेंट की क्या प्रायोरिटीज़ नज़र आती है. बिकॉज असेंशली जो बजट है ना, अगर आप किसी को पूछ लें नॉर्मली कि जी बजट, नॉर्मली पीपल थिंक ऑफ बजट्स अराउंड जून, हाँ जी जून में बजट आता है. और आजकल एक ये भी हो गया कि बजट्स जो हैं, अगर आप देखिए इतने खरब रुपए, इतने फलां रुपए, अगर आप मुझे पूछे, मुझे तो अंदाज़ा ही नहीं कि खरब होता कितना है. तो अगर मैं पूछूं कि अगर 5,000 रुपए की नोट हो तो खरब कितना होगा, इतना होगा, इतना होगा, या कितना होगा, अंदाज़ा ही नहीं है ना. एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ मेक्स बजट्स वेरी टेक्निकल and very intimidating, and therefore people tend to not focus on it. But it is extremely important for citizens to engage in budgets, because अगर आपने अपने एरिया के कूड़े करकट को बेहतर डिस्पोजेबल पे जाना है, या आप चाहते हैं कि आपके इलाके में गर्ल्स स्कूल्स हों, या एम्प्लॉयमेंट की अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ ज़्यादा हों, या यूथ के लिए प्रोग्राम्स हो, all of that you need to delve into the budgets.
So for a normal citizen, जब budgets जो हैं when it becomes public, तो उसको पढ़ के उसमें से like they can, like what exactly they can figure out कि किस चीज़ के लिए कितनी allocation है, and then for their problems in their community, how they can sort of like get those resolved. Is that the...
I would say you put the cart before the horse in a sense, because first of all you have to identify your problem. So say for example your problem is that there are not enough vocational centers in X district, let's say whatever X district it might be. तो that is your problem, right? फिर आप बजट को देखें कि जी अच्छा बजट में कोई गुंजाइश है वोकेशनल सेंटर्स की. अच्छा, suppose you're looking for vocational centers especially for women, or you're looking for vocational centers especially for people with who are non-Muslim citizens, वो आपको, then you go into the budget and you look for it कि जी ये इसमें है या नहीं है. Budgets actually are just lists. They're not that difficult to understand. अगर आपको पता हो कि what you're looking for, and because of a lot of e-governance जो हुआ है over the years, as soon as the budgets are approved, they're all on websites. So you can go into any provincial or the federal government website and you can look at the budget, and then you go into the by sectors. आप सेक्टर के अंदर चले जाएं, आप कोशिश कर, वोकेशनल सेंटर्स नॉर्मली वुड बी अंडर एजुकेशन. अब एजुकेशन में चले जाएं, आप देखें कि कितना बजट है, एंड दैट information will help you to demand those vocational centers. So if you, and then you start engaging कि अच्छा मुझे vocational center कौन दे सकता है, what part of government can give me. So then you look at that and you start engaging.
Right. So for example, if there is a person जिसके area में they feel कि hospital नहीं है या school नहीं है, so they will go through the budget and they realize there is budget allocated for that.
Yeah.
And then they can go to the relevant authorities and maybe like write a petition or talk to them? How does exactly it
So
works?
let me give you a concrete example. So Kohistan mein there was this Tehsil headquarter hospital which had a capacity of 100 beds. There was a gynae ward, there was a doctor's facility. We came upon it in 2011 after the 2010 floods. जब 2010 के floods आए जिसमें कोहिस्तान was devastated. So we were working with the community and we saw this huge construction. It was completely constructed, it's completely dysfunctional. उस वहाँ एक प्लाक लगा हुआ था ओपनिंग का कि उसकी तारीख भी थी फरवरी 2007 की. But dysfunctional. So then we started looking at the budget. So there is this Tehsil headquarter. Why is it not functioning? Budget में नज़र आ रहा था equipment के लिए पैसे allocate, no spending. Allocation, no spending. So that information helped us engage the government to say, look, here is this whole infrastructure. Why is it not working? You also have money for it. Why is the money not being put into it? अच्छा, पहला मसला ये था कि वहाँ बिजली नहीं थी. तो पहले बिजली का कनेक्शन जो है वो 2016 के इर्द गिर्द आया. And we were very lucky that one of our journalist friends, Talat Hussain, when he was covering the flood area in 2016, so he covered this for us, and he उनका एक शो आता था उसके ऊपर कवर हुआ. नेक्स्ट डे DC भी आ गया उधर. What the good thing is कि today that facility is now functional, not 100%, but वहाँ OPD चलती है. वहाँ नशुमान एक प्रोग्राम है फॉर चिल्ड्रन, वो चलता है. वहाँ 1112 रेस्क्यू सिस्टम चलती है. एंड वो जो स्ट्रक्चर था वो पब्लिक टैक्सेस से ही बना हुआ था. 2007 का बना हुआ था. It eventually became functional in 2016. तो आप अंदाज़ा लगाएं कि 11 साल तक वो डिसफंक्शनल था. But this जो social accountability, understanding budgets, tracking the budgets ने हमने जो काम किया, that helped in making that facility now functional, and we believe it is now going to be upgraded into a DHQ because Kohistan has turned into 3 districts.
So what I want to understand is like you, Umar Asghar Foundation, as an organization, did you take that initiative to talk to the relevant authorities, or did you empower the community members to take lead on that?
Both. We empowered the community to do it, and we have also worked with legislators. हमने बहुत काम चारों जो सूबाई लेजिस्लेटर्स हैं, जो फेडरल नेशनल असेंबली में लेजिस्लेटर्स हैं, जो अभी 2018 के बाद जो सारी असेंबलीज आई हैं, हमने चारों सूबों और फेडरल गवर्नमेंट में भी काम किया और आगे भी करेंगे. एंड वी वर्कड विद द लेजिस्लेटर्स टू से कि लुक, दिस इज़ व्हाट द बजट इज़ सेइंग. देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट दे मेड देयर रिकमेंडेशंस कि व्हाट अ काइंड ऑफ फंड्स दे रिक्वायर. उसका जो नतीजा हुआ कि जब पार्लियामेंट्री डिबेट होता है बजट में, एंड वी वर वर्किंग मोस्टली विद द विमेन पार्लियामेंटेरियंस, फीमेल पार्लियामेंटेरियंस जो थी, उनके साथ हम काम कर रहे थे. तो दे मेड द प्रपोजल्स, एंड खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में इन 2021 दे वर एबल टू गेट एन एलोकेशन ऑफ 1 billion. And the following year, it increased to 3.5 billion. Now, you may ask, okay, well, so what? What does this mean? So that allocation then essentially means led to Darul Amans being made, forensic system capacity being increased in KP, education facilities being extended, sporting facilities. तो ये जो amounts होते हैं, they essentially then turn into facilities for the public. तो legislators के साथ भी काम किया, गवर्नमेंट के साथ, officials के साथ भी काम किया, because कभी कभी ये होता है कि फंड्स एलोकेट हो जाते हैं मगर ना डिस्पर्स होते हैं, ना इस्तेमाल होते हैं.
तो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस जो इसका आपने बताया, अगर आप की इसमें एफर्ट ना होती, तो हाउ दैट बजट वुड हैव बीन स्पेंट, वो फिर लाइक हाउ डज इट वर्क कि वो बजट फिर दूसरी चीज़ों पे एलोकेट हो जाता है इफ इट्स अंडरस्पेंट? और
सो आई मीन वी every country has this problem. It's not just us. that resources are limited and problems are unlimited. So essentially, a budget जो होता है, that shows you what are the priorities and the choices that the government is making. And the government has to make these choices because there are always limited resources. Even if you are in very developed countries, they have the same problem. तो ये जो choices होते हैं वो किस तरीके से बनते हैं. Now in our case, there is a whole system through which these allocations are decided. Well, unfortunately, not entirely always based on evidence, not entirely always based on what citizens want. तो जो हमारा काम है, that enables citizens, legislators, government to get the benefit of public input so that they can make better decisions.
Perfect.
अच्छा, वो better decisions बनाएंगे, they will be more popular, citizens will be more happy. Everybody, it's a win-win situation. Nobody loses in this. I think the only people who might lose is those people who don't want to see any change. हमारा experience ये है कि government इतनी बड़ी चीज़ होती है, आपको हमेशा कोई ना कोई मिल जाता है who is actually trying to do something good. तो उनके साथ हम कोशिश करते हैं कि ज़्यादा काम करें. Those people who want to work well, उनके साथ हम काम करते हैं ताकि कोई हम on the ground services में people's lives में कोई improvement लग जाए. And I think for me the best part of our work is when we see somebody's life changing, when we see some improvement in an area, like ये कोहिस्तान का जो मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया, this THQ being functional. कोहिस्तान वो जगह है जहाँ बहुत ही कम health facilities हैं, and because the Karakoram runs through, as you might know, the Karakoram highway runs through that. It's a mountainous area. तो बहुत accidents भी होते हैं. A lot of people lose their lives because there is no rescue service. So just having that place there functional, I don't have the figures of how many lives it may have saved, but definitely it is saving lives. So I think that is the best part of our work. When we see something like that happening, when we see an improvement, then all the problems that we encounter are all worth it, because you feel कि अच्छा चले, is well worth all the effort made.